Less than 2 minutes. Mic check. That was a mic check. Less than 2 minutes. Check, 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 check. Almost game time. Let's hurry up, gentlemen. Be seated. You got a whole city here. You got a whole city missing. Jim Coates. Jim Coates. Where's the rest of the pen? Are they out there? Are they out there? Where the heck are they? They're on their way. Let's hurry up, gentlemen. Take your seats. That's got to be addressed. That's got to be addressed. Let's take your seats. Posting the colors by the County of Pedro. Color Guard, advance the colors of this great nation. Hand salute. Post colors. Post colors. Two. This time we're going to have the scripture reading. County of Fish, City of Van Patten, Kevin Hidalgo. Kevin? Uncover.
Proverbs 4, verses 1 through 9. Listen, my sons, to a father's instruction. Pay attention and gain understanding. I give you sound learning, so do not forsake my teaching. For I too was a son to my father, still tender and cherished by my mother. Then he taught me, and he said to me, take hold of my words with all your heart. Keep my command, and you will live. Get wisdom, get understanding. Do not forget my words or turn away from them. Do not forsake wisdom, and she will protect you. Love her, and she will watch over you. The beginning of wisdom is this: get wisdom. Though it cost all you have, get understanding. Cherish her, and she will exalt you. Embrace her, and she will honor you. She will give you a garland to grace your head and present you with a glorious crown.
This time, Pledge of Allegiance, led by the County of Spafford, City of McDermott, Robert Dorfman. Robert?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
At this time, the national anthem. Feel free to sing it. All right, gentlemen. We started getting loud last night. Let's get louder today. Maestro. That was good, but not a little bit better than yesterday. I think we could still raise this roof higher. Let's get it going one more time. Let's get it loud. Do you think we can get a little louder? Maestro, please. One more time. Yeah! And you know what? I bet tomorrow you're going to be even louder. And when they get to graduation, we're going to raise this roof. All right. Like it or not, we all have to speak in front of groups. Many people hate speaking in front of groups. Some people would rather be set on fire in their chair and stand up, then stand up and speak. Regardless of how we feel about our own speaking, our speaker today can help us become more effective communicators. Fred Ashforth is the president of Ashforth Associates. He is an experienced salesman, speaker, trainer, writer, and consultant. His book, Speaking Connections: How to Connect with Every Audience and Become a Successful Speaker, is available on Amazon as an ebook or paperback. Fred's programs have been well received by over 20,000 people who have attended and participated in them. Fred's a graduate of Morrisville College, SUNY College at Cortland, and the School of Management at SUNY Binghamton. He has been a presenter at Boys State for more than 10 years. Today, Fred will be giving a program titled The Success Triangle and How It Relates to Speaking and Life. American Legion Boys State Class of 2024, welcome with a big welcome to Fred Ashford. Fred?
Thank you, Tom. Congratulations. You're here at Boys State. That's fantastic. Wow. Someone said that a journey of 1,000 miles starts with one step. And that's what you've done by coming here to Boys State. You've taken that first step, and hopefully something that'll be very, very valuable to you this week and for the rest of your life. My son came to Boys State many years ago, and he had a great experience here, and I hope you will too. He almost joined the Marines afterwards, but instead he went off to college and he joined the Army Reserves. And there, the Army Reserves paid for his college and gave him spending money. He had a great experience with it. He also then did 1 year in Iraq, and we're very proud of him for his service to his country. So perhaps some of you will do that as well. Now, you will see Boys Staters wherever you go. You go off to college, and you're going to see somebody, you're going to say, Boy Stater, yeah, and you're gonna find each other wherever you go. In fact, years from now, when you see someone and they mention Boy State, you say, I went there too. Well, I went there in 1980. I went there in 2024, whatever. If you find somebody else that went to Boy State, you have an automatic connection. So this is a great program, and enjoy it this week. Have a great week. Before we begin, is somebody here listening to the radio? Did you know you're all listening to the radio right now? You know what you're listening to? You're listening to a station, an FM station, that's called WIIFM. And you know what that is? What's in it for me? Because every time you sit there and somebody gets up to speak, you're thinking, all right, what's in it for me? Why should I listen? So I'll tell you right up front why you should listen. Become a good speaker. It will help you your entire life. What we're going to talk about today is 3 things. It's called a success triangle. I don't have a PowerPoint, so I'm going to use my hands. We start at the top with attitude, having the right attitude. Next, technique, learn how to do something. And lastly, behavior. And we're going to talk about how attitude, technique, and behavior all come together to relate to speaking and to relate to everything in your life. Let's start. Attitude. Start with a great attitude. If you think, Henry Ford said this, if you think you can and you think you can't, you're right. If you think you can and you think you can't, you're right. So it all hinges on your attitude. If you think you can do things, you can do them. Very, very important. I can do it. Next, technique. Well, you got to learn to do something. If you want to do it, you want to write something, you want to do something special, you want to do something, you've got to learn how to do it. And you go to books, you go to YouTube, wherever, and you learn how to do it. So attitude, technique, and the last one is the hardest of all. The last one is behavior. You got to do it. Because lots of people talk big, but talk is cheap. I like the quote that says, many people dream of doing great things, and then other people get out of bed and do them. So be that person that gets out of bed and does it. Talk is cheap. Now, when we talk about trying things and behavior, what happens if you fail? Fine. Lots of times people are afraid to do things because they're afraid they'll fail. But you gotta fail. That's where you learn. So don't ever be afraid of failing. Try it. The biggest failure of all is the person who never tries. So don't be that person. So start with the right attitude. You've all got a great attitude. You're here at Boy State and you're smiling. I said you're here at Boy State and you're smiling. There they are. Okay, they're smiling. You got a right attitude. Technique, you're learning things. And behavior is you're doing things. So attitude, technique, and behavior, very, very important. Now let's talk a little bit about speaking and your attitude. Who here is going to be governor of Boy State this year? Please raise your hand. What, it's between 4 of you? Come on now. I asked who's going to be governor this year. Please raise your hand. Okay. Okay. Now, we have a small group of people that are very confident. If you raise your hand, you're confident. You're confident that you can do it. That's a great step. Keep working at it. And my guess is that you're all good speakers, the people who put their hand up. So anyway, any of you can be a governor. We just have a few that are maybe a little more confident that are going to go for it. But anyway, whoever the governor is, they will be a good speaker. It happens every year. Now, I want to talk about 4 different types of speakers. Number 1 is a person who hates speaking and avoids it. Number 2 is a person who dislikes speaking. They don't like to do it very much, but if they have to do it, they'll do it. Then there's a number 3. They like speaking, and they'll do it from time to time. They're okay with it, fine. And then there's that number 4. Wow. They love to speak anytime, anywhere, and guess what? You can't shut them up. They love to speak. Okay, how many number 1s? Please raise your hand if you are a number 1, you hate speaking and avoid it. Okay, we have a few. Okay. How many dislike speaking. They have to do it once in a while, but that's okay. They don't really like it that much, okay. How many people like speaking? Oh my gosh, okay, there's more there. And where are our number 4s, the people that love to speak? Okay, love to speak. See, that's a smaller group. Well, guess what? All of you can be number 4s. And the interesting thing about public speaking is most people, it's the number 1 fear. People hate speaking, the number 1 fear. More ahead of dying, ahead of spiders, ahead of all kinds of things. People hate speaking. So if you don't hate speaking, and you're good at it, and you're very good at it, you stand way above the crowd. Out of 100 people, you might be 1 in 100 that's good at speaking. The other 90 are afraid to do it, and the other 10 think they're good, but they're not very good. And if you're good, guess what? You stand above the crowd. It's extremely important. It gives you all kinds of opportunity in your life. All kinds of opportunity. And opportunity means money and freedom, and it's good. So always, always, always start with the attitude that I can do it. Next, we talked attitude. Technique. I'm going to give you 5 quick tips on helping you to become a better presenter. Number 1, the audience is the most important person in the room. I'm not important. You are important. I am speaking today to help you. I want to help you get better. It's all about the audience. And I hear speakers sometimes and they get up, I. Who cares? This is all about you and getting better. So always care about your audience. I've had people say to me before, I was speaking, they weren't listening. They weren't listening to me. Well, guess what? You were boring. And number 2, they didn't care what you had to say. So don't let that happen. Make sure that you know your audience is number 1. Number 2, is there anybody here who's passionate about something? Please raise your hand. I'm not talking about your girlfriend. I'm talking about, oh, the hands go down. Okay, passionate. Okay, look at this. We've got almost the entire, just about everybody's passionate about something. That's fantastic. Okay, now, what you want to do is you want to speak about that. Because a great speech doesn't come from up here. A great speech comes right from the heart. And if you are passionate about something and you speak about it, you will do a great job every time. Unfortunately, sometimes we have to speak about something that we don't care about. That's a terrible thing to do. Always, always, always speak about things that you care about, that are close to you. Now, although most of you are like 16, 17, I don't know, maybe 18 years old, to me, that doesn't seem like a very long period of time, but to you, you have gained a lot of life experiences. Now, those life experiences, unfortunately, some of them could be very bad. You've been through a god-awful, terrible lot of stuff. And then to others, maybe you've been through some great stuff. Maybe things have been wonderful. But the idea is everybody has life experiences. And you know what? When you speak about those experiences, it's easy because they are you and your experiences. You are passionate about it. You share this with people. And when you share this with people, it's good for you and it's good for them. So I encourage all of you, whatever it was in your life that's strange or different or something that happened that's very, very close to you, speak about it. It will be good for you. You will do a wonderful job, and your audiences will get some value from it, will learn from it. Very, very important. Next, number 3, look your best. Now, do we have any Marines in the room still? Or are they all in the back? They're all gone. They went someplace else. Okay. Did you know that I can spot a Marine? You try it sometime. Do you know what a Marine is? A Marine stands tall and straight. They just look confident. They just look like they're a Marine. And I encourage all of you, when you speak, when you do other things, look like a Marine. Let me tell you, it's a good thing. You would never see a Marine slouching in their chair. A Marine is a Marine. And when you look that way, it really, really, really is helpful. It shows that you're confident. I tell people all the time about standing in front of a group. One little tip I always give people. People always, when they stand in front of a group, they're getting an award or something, everybody stands like this. Guys, nobody's going to attack you there. You don't need to do that. A confident person, I can spot a confident person on stage because guess what? They've got their arms to their sides, their chest out, and they're looking around. They're not closed up. They're not protecting themselves. They're not afraid. They are confident. And that's what you want to do. You want to look confident when you speak. And the other thing is, too, you want to smile. Is everybody here happy today? I'm going to tell you one thing. Tell your faces about it, okay? Because if you're happy, show it, okay? Because we all are more attracted to people that have a smile on their face. Don't we want to talk with people that have a smile on their face? People that are frowning and look sad? No, we don't want to talk to them. We'll talk to somebody else. So look your best, stand straight and tall, look like a Marine, and smile. Number 4, sound your best. Wow. Well, first of all, loud and clear, because you are passionate about what you're talking about, right? Yes, sir. So if you're passionate, it will come across. If you're not passionate, I've heard speakers get up before and say, I'm very excited tonight to speak to you here. And I want to say, liar! Because if you're passionate, if you're excited about speaking to them, you're excited about speaking to them, and I am excited about speaking to you today. And I hope it shows. I can't hold it back. So you want to be loud and clear and be passionate. And you want to stop this thing called padding. I'm not sure if anybody here pads. Padding is, when you, put in, words and, sounds that can be, kind of, what I mean, like distracting. So when you practice a speech, tape it and listen to it. And if you've got any padding, get rid of it and replace it with silence. Silence is good. Padding is terrible. Don't do it. And now every time you hear somebody speak somewhere, you're going to be listening for that padding and go, uh-oh, the guy's padding. So anyway, keep that in mind. And then, of course, vary your voice and say, this is important. Vary your voice throughout. Okay, number 5 is connect with your audience. Wow. I wrote a book called Speaking Connection, and that is about how to connect with every audience, both when you're up here or wherever you are, connecting with people. First of all, you show you care by listening to them, finding out about your audience ahead of time so you know a little bit about them, which is very, very helpful. You don't want to speak to them if you're speaking to a PETA group, for example. You don't want to mention that you went hunting last weekend. They didn't get that, did they? Okay, anyway. What you want to do is you want to know your audience. You want to ask questions and know a little bit about them ahead of time. Never speak to a group. I mean that. Never, ever speak to a group. Only speak to individuals. And the way you do that is with this thing called eye clasp. And what I do is I establish eye contact with someone, and I smile. They smile back. I find another person over here for my next, as I keep talking, find other people to speak with and speak with them. And I speak directly to this group over here so that I am speaking with you as individuals. So everybody in this room should feel at the end of the program that I was speaking directly to them. Some people have said, well, if you're nervous, you should find a spot on the back wall. Now, if today I spoke to a spot on the back wall, I think you'd think I was nuts. I'm going to speak directly to you. So never speak to a group. Only speak to individuals one at a time. And in a smaller group, it's real easy. This larger group, it's a little bit harder, but still you can do it. Next, tell stories. We all love stories. In fact, in school, I remember, does this still happen? I remember we used to get the teacher to tell us a story about his boat so that he wouldn't, get off that boring subject of whatever else it was. You love stories. Tell me a story. And if I had 2 minutes to speak, that's all, or 1 minute to speak, I would get up and I would tell you a story. And you know what? You would remember that story. So stories, people love stories. And guess what? You have stories. Tell those stories. And the neat thing about a story is you don't need notes. Oh, let's see. I went to that. No. Your story's right here. And you got it. There it is. So tell stories, stories, stories. And lastly, emotion is very important. I did some work with an organ donor group, and one of the gentlemen who had a heart transplant, he said, I would love to speak about my heart transplant, but I cry. Okay, think about that. What would you do if he got up here and he spoke about his heart transplant and he cried? You know what you would do? First of all, you might cry with him. You might try to hide it, but you might cry with him. And number two is you would remember that. Wow. That would be very, very powerful. So it's all right if you speak and you cry and you laugh, you cry, you do whatever, because the idea is emotion is huge. Most people who speak are boring. There's no emotion. They're just telling facts. You want to tell stories, funny stories, good stories, sad stories, everything. Emotion is very important. Now, a couple other quick things I'm going to mention today, three quick things about that may be helpful to you, not just in speaking. This is, first of all, Mary Kay Ash was the woman who started Mary Kay Cosmetics, and that was back in the 50s and 60s, and she made a lot of women very, very successful business people. And she said that everybody has an invisible sign on the front of them. Everybody has a sign that says, make me feel important. That sign says, make me feel important. Now, think about that. I don't know how many of you see that sign. But guess what? If you see that sign and you meet somebody and you make them feel important, wow, that's huge. That's unbelievable. The sky's the limit for you if you do that. Unfortunately, at the age of 16, 17, 18, we tend to be just focused on ourselves. But when you see that sign on people, it's really, 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 really helpful to you. Next, my grandson asked me a question. I don't know where he learned this. He's 18, he just graduated. And he asks me a question every time he sees me. He says, how's your day going, Grandpa? And he asks other people that when he sees them. How's your day going? You know, some people say, how you doing? Oh, okay. How's your day going? Wow. That prompts the other person to respond more and talk. And it actually makes you feel pretty good that he cares how your day's going. And then there are three types of people. There is a bore. And when you meet a person and they're a bore, guess what they say? I won this, I did this, I did that, I did this, I did that, I did that, Okay, that's a bore. The second person is a gossip. And they say, do you hear about that? Do you hear about that? He talks about other people. And the third type of person is a brilliant conversationalist because they talk about the most important person in the room. That's you. How are you? What are you doing? Where are you from? What do you do? This and that. What do you play? What do you have? And asks about you. And believe me, when you meet somebody who asks about you, you feel good. I don't know why. You feel good. They feel because they care. And it isn't just asking, it's responding accordingly and not just, faking it. You got to care. So be a brilliant conversationalist, every person you meet. And then lastly, there's a quote that says, people don't remember what you said or did, but they always remember how you made them feel. And the question to you is, how do you make people feel? A quick story, go outside with with a guy I know. We go outside and the winter is cold. I said, wow, it's cold out here. He goes, well, what do you expect? It's winter. What was that comment for? What do you expect? It's winter. What are you, stupid? What's winter? What a thing to say to somebody. How does it make you feel? So make sure that you make people feel good. Okay? Very, very important. Okay. Now, I encourage you now to learn about behavior and do something. I'm going to ask you to do something today. First of all, behavior. Behavior is stretching. It's doing something you haven't done before. Coming to Boise State. Some of you have been to places like this before. Others have never been away from home for a week before. This is really stretching for you. But continue to stretch and do things and look for opportunities to stretch and grow and grow and grow. Get out of your comfort zone. A lot of people just, no, I'm going to stay right here. That makes me nervous. I don't want to do that. You want to stretch all the time. And if you don't speak much, start. And I'm going to give you an assignment. The assignment is to go back to the American Legion who sponsored you and speak. Call them up. Tell them I'd like to come in this fall and tell you about my experience at Boise State. Will they like that? They will love that. These guys, yeah, they will love that. And the idea is you come and then you just tell them some funny stories of what happened at Boise State and what you learned, and it was a great experience, whatever. You can talk about the speakers, you can talk about the programs, you can talk about everything, and they will love it. And they will continue to help support Boise State. Because I'm going to tell you something else that's totally outrageous, is I know people in Boise State that their son, let's see, your children, your sons may come to Boise State. Think about that. Isn't that pretty outrageous? In like 20 years, 25 years, having a son that comes to Boise State, you think, wow, that's cool. And that happens. They do. Generations after generations have come to Boise State. So hopefully you'll keep the program going. So I encourage you to speak. Get out there and speak to them. Now, I have a couple related stories that I want to share with you. The first there's three things that I am passionate about. You may have guessed. Number one is speaking, and I speak about that all the time. Number two is organ donation. Now, my wife, Joanne, had a double lung transplant 30 years ago, and she did great. It worked fantastic, and she was with us for 30 years because of someone's generosity. A 19-year-old from Cleveland, Ohio, was struck by a car, and his family decided to donate the organs. And so she got the lungs. Somebody else in the hospital that she knew got his heart. Somebody else downstairs on another floor got the liver and the kidneys. And 9 people are alive because of that family's decision to donate. So what I always suggest to people is that you talk to your family about it and say, you know, this guy was speaking to me about organ donation. So if anything ever happens to me, go ahead, give my organs to somebody else. Somebody else can use them. Just a nice gesture. And get your family talking in town. And my wife did great for 30 years, and then last year she died of cancer. But she did great for 30 years because of that transplant. So I encourage people to at least talk to your families about that. Then there is one final thing. We're going to do questions in a few minutes. Okay. Just one final thing before we do the questions is, how many people here dance? Holy mackerel. Wait a minute. I said, how many people here dance? Oh my gosh, what a bunch. This is unbelievable. Okay, hold it, guys. That's the one thing that's the other thing that I'm passionate about. Years ago in college, I learned how to dance. Well, that really got you guys, didn't it? I learned how to dance, and wow, what a great thing. Can dance the swing, the cha-cha, the mambo, the tango, the merengue, the samba, the waltz. You name all these dances, and guess what happens? You can go anywhere and dance. And I know it's funny, but confidence. Okay, if you're confident, if you're good at it and you can speak, you feel confident, you can do a great job. If it's a musical instrument and you're good at it, you're confident, you do a good job. You know that. If it's dancing, the band plays, I'm confident. I know how. And other people could learn, and you could all learn and do it. But it's fun. So I wanted to just give a quick thing. A couple years ago, some people asked about dancing. Maestro, could you hit it for us? This is my friend Diana Morris. Come on up, Diana. Ready? Told you they'd like it. longer.
What about that other one?
This one here?
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. That was fun. And girls love to dance. So learn how, and they're yours. That's the end of my main program. If you'd like, if you have questions, what are we going to do? Have them come up one at a time?
We got a mic right here.
Yeah, we have a microphone right here. If you have a question, come on up,
Mic on the aisle.
and then I'll conclude.
Form a
very
line
soon.
on in front of the mic.
Got warm in here, didn't it?
Yes.
Cesar Rodriguez, Fish County, Morel. What's your favorite dance move?
What's my favorite dance move? My favorite dance or dance move? Holy mackerel. I don't know. My favorite dance is the swing. And my favorite move is probably the belly turn. The belly turn, we just did a belly turn where she rubs my belly and we go around. It feels good and I like it. Thank you.
Good morning, sir. My name's Shaden Tift of Pedro County in Neville City, and I would like to know how did you get so comfortable speaking publicly? Did you learn that did you like go up on stage a lot at your school, or what did you do, sir?
What did I do to get to start public speaking? I was in all the school musicals and plays. That always helps. You too? Okay, good. So if you get used to being on stage, and then the other thing is too is look for every opportunity you can to speak, and you just get better and better and better at it. And then once you're out of school, you can join Toastmasters. That's a public speaking organization, and you can speak regularly there. And just speak as often as you can about something you're passionate about. And that's
Thank you so much, sir. I really enjoyed your speech.
Well, thank you.
How are you doing this morning, sir?
Good.
That's good. My question for you is, what got you into public speaking?
What got me into public speaking? I heard, I've always been a speaker, but I started training people after I went to a program in Philadelphia and heard somebody like a program like this. And it was fantastic. And I just said, this is great. So I came back to the Utica area here in Central New York and started training other people on that. And then it expanded, and I was all over the place doing this for 30 years. So that's what got me started. I heard somebody, like today, I heard somebody, and I got motivated and got inspired and did it. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
My name is Zachary Saramelli, Cocotec County, City of Riley, proud nationalist. My question for you today is, what do you feel is the best way to start a speech?
What do I feel the best way to start a speech? Well, I like the best way to start a speech is to recognize your audience, and that is to say, I'll often start with, today I started with congratulations. Sometimes if I'm going to speak to a Rotary group or a group like that, what I'll do is I research them ahead of time and find out what they're doing. And then as I sit and talk with people before I speak, I ask them questions. Again, what did I say about being a brilliant conversationalist? Ask questions, learn about them. And then when my favorite words when I step up to speak are, thank you. Now, most people think I'm thanking them for inviting me. I say thank you. Thank you for the great work you do in the community through Rotary Club. Thank you for this you've done. Thank you for that you've done. So I love to start. My favorite is to congratulations. You're doing a wonderful job. Congratulations, you're doing great here at Boise State. Or thank you for the great work you do. It's not about me, it's about you.
Thank you, sir.
Sure.
Hello, sir. My name is Stephen. I'm from Cogutec County. And my question for you is, how do you tell a personal story while also recognizing the audience?
Okay, how do you tell a personal story while still recognizing the audience? Well, you know, the interesting thing there is we're all human beings, and you can certainly tell a personal story that relates to other human beings, especially if it's emotional, whether they may have not experienced the same thing. I'm from a total different world. But I can still, I'm a human. I know what you went through, and when you tell that story, I hear that and I feel that. So it doesn't, you know, as long as your story is emotional and from the heart, they will get it, and you'll do a great job. And I highly recommend to get out there, all of you, and talk and give these emotional speeches and stories. Great, thank you.
Hello, I'm Michael Versace from Spafford County, and I think I speak for everyone in the room when I want to ask, what exactly was that jig called, and why did you choose that song in particular?
Oh, what was that? That was a swing, and it's pretty much, you know, I think it started in the United States and maybe in the 20s or 30s. And a swing, sometimes they call it a jitterbug, sometimes they call it there's a different variation. It's a Lindy Hop that's a little different, but that's a basic swing. And let's see, your other question was the music?
Why exactly did you choose, why
did we choose that? Well, I talked to your band director here, Dave, and I know that every year he does play Rock Around the Clock. And so Rock Around the Clock is a swing. So he said, we'll do Rock Around the Clock. He played Rock Around the Clock, and we did a swing to it. And I hope you liked it.
All right, thank you very much. I did
Sure.
like it, thank you.
Hello, my name is David Mattis, and I'm from Wong County. So my question is, when did you learn to dance, and what were the name of your books again?
Okay, I learned to dance back at college in Cortland when I was a student there, and my wife to-be was also a student there. She learned too, but it's a great time to learn to dance in college because they have these courses, and you just take a ballroom dance class. And then when everybody gets married, including you and all your friends, you go to those weddings and you dance, and you have a great time. The second part of your question?
What were the names of your books?
The name of the book is The Speaking Connection. And it's Fred Ashforth. You have my name probably here in the program, but you can look it up and you can get it on Amazon through Kindle or hardcover or paperback. Thank you. What is one mistake that people make speaking? To be even better. Okay, good question. The number one problem that people have is they make it about themselves and not about their audience. Find out all you can about your audience, and you'll do a great job every time. Thank you. In concluding today, I just wanted to say just a couple things real quick, then I'm gone. The success triangle: attitude, technique, and behavior. And a journey of 1,000 miles starts with that one step. You're doing that step here today. Now, I hope you found some value today. Take what you learned here and use it. You've stretched yourself, and have a great experience at Boise State. Thanks a lot.
Wonderful. What light feet you have. Don't go anywhere.
All right, thank you so much for coming. In gratitude, you're going to have a Boise State shirt for you.
Thank you.
Might be a little large.
I got it.
You want to try it out?
I'll put it on.
All right, you want to switch? Again, in gratitude for grateful appreciation for your participation, American Legion Boys State, and for having such light feet. Presenting to Fred Ashford for New York State Boys State 2024. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Great job.
Normally we would have a music break, however, we already had that. So I think that was a great performance, great dancing. I think we should give them a round of applause again. At this time, we're going to have a gentleman come up and speak about a special project, a special part of the American Legion family. I invite James Coate, please approach.
Good morning, Boys State. Good morning, sir. All right, that's what we like to hear. My name is Jim Coates. I'll put this down a little. Can everybody hear me okay? Yes, sir. All righty. I celebrate this year 26 years of membership in the Sons of the American Legion. My eligibility is through my father, Michael F. Coates, who served during the Korean War. I have been asked to come and talk about the Sons of the American Legion, as you know. The Sons of the American Legion is a program of the American Legion. I think originally it was started as a youth program, and over the years our membership has aged and we have adopted programs alongside the American Legion, and today strongly support programs in Americanism, children and youth, Veterans Affairs and Rehabilitation, and National Defense, which together have become known as the Four Pillars. Like the American Legion begins at the post level, the Sons of the American Legion begins at the squadron level and has developed into county, district, detachment, and state, and also nationally. And today we support the programs in Americanism, children and youth, Veterans Affairs and Rehabilitation, and National Defense. One area we're striving to work more on is our public relations and educating people about our organization, as we recognize how few people really know about the Sons of the American Legion. As I stated before, the Sons of the American Legion is a program of the American Legion. To be eligible for membership, you must be a male descendant of a veteran who has served our country in the military. It used to be only during designated periods of conflict, but now is opened up to periods of service. I remember before he died, my father telling me he was glad that I had found this organization, this way to serve. I can think of nothing more rewarding than to work to support our country and our veterans. Now, one question I have for you is, how many of you knew about the Sons of the American Legion program before you came into Boys State? Quite a few, actually. That's good. How many of you know about it now? That's what we want to see. Okay. How many are Sons of the American Legion? And we've got a few, really. We got pretty good. All right, great. Thank you. Does anybody have any questions for me? Okay, I'll be around all the rest of the week. If you do, I'm sorry, go ahead. How do you join? Okay, as I said, your eligibility is determined by the service of your parents, and I need to make a distinction here too, because I said direct descendants, but if you're a stepson, if your stepfather served in the war, you're eligible also, okay? But you need to And usually the organization requires what they call a DD-214. Does everybody know what a DD-214 is? It's really a record of their military and their exit of the military and where they served and what their capacity was. So some evidence that they did serve in the military during specified times. And then you need to sign through an American Legion post that supports a squadron. And you can, and I would go talk to, search out your American Legion posts near you. See if they have a squadron. Go talk to them. And then they'll lead you on from there if you're interested in joining that particular squadron. Now you can join without joining a specific squadron, but believe me, it's going to be much more rewarding an experience if you do get involved with the American Legion and the squadron there. Did I answer your question? Okay. Any other questions? All right, as I said, I'm going to be here the rest of the week. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to come up and ask me or any of the other fellows that have raised their hands here. So, and I want to thank you all very much. Thank you for coming to Boys State, and I hope that you're enjoying yourselves. Thank you. Bye now.
You're welcome. Thank you much.
And I was just informed, too, that Mr. Ashford is also a SAL Son of the American Legion. So. Bill Coleman here? Bill Coleman? Can you please come up? Good morning, sir. I understand that you had a little issue and you wanted to take care of it, and in order to do that, you send somebody out on a mission. And I just want to present you with this, so hopefully it'll help you with your mission.
Thank you.
Bill, I hope that helps things run a little smoother for you. At this time, I would like to introduce the Executive Director, Dave Corrado, for a presentation. Please give your attention. Thank you.
Hold on a second, I have to put my glasses on. Good morning. Good morning, sir. How are you all doing today? Good? Great, great to hear that. Who's ready to go home? Who wants to stay an extra week? Okay. Okay, this is called Tribute to an Icon. In the summer of 1938, the American Legion, Department of New York, introduced a pilot Boys State program at New York State Fairgrounds in Syracuse. It was well received, and the full program launched in 1939 and was attended by a young Nicholas F. Solis. Thus began the lifelong commitment between Nick Solis and the American Legion Boys State of New York. Nick's solid presence at Boys State was unwavering and constant, except for the time he served in the military during World War II as a volunteer in the Army Air Corps, where he served as a navigator, bombardier, completing 34 missions and earning the Air Medal with 4 Oak Clusters and a presidential citation. He was also absent during his pursuit of a college education. He obtained a bachelor's degree in Spanish language, civilization, and literature from St. John's University in Queens, and completed higher studies at the University of Havana, Cuba, and Niagara University, where he received his master's degree in Latin American history. Solis credited his military service and the GI Bill for his ability to pursue a higher education and ultimately earn a doctorate. Dr. Solis taught Latin American language and culture at St. John's University for several years and was awarded the status of Professor Emeritus. To honor his 54 years of dedication to the American Legion Boys State of New York, he was given the status of Executive Director Emeritus in 1986. Dr. Solis was the Walter Cronkite of the Boys State Morning Program, where he gave all present a daily update of current events with his views of same. Of course, given his inevitable way with his humorous side, comments on the news and people in the news. Nicholas F. Solis was a great orator. His litany of the flag was a gem, which brought tears to the hardiest of hearts and the bravest of the brave. Doc was not only a legend in his own time, but also an icon of the American Legion Boys State of New York program and everything it stands for. He even had Boys State as his automobile license plate. He lived for the program, and it was at the June 2006 program that he was stricken and God took him from us. God bless Dr. Nicholas F. Solis, Executive Director Emeritus, Mr. Boys State. The program will never be the same without his wit and words of wisdom. And with that, we're going to present Litany of the Flag that he narrated.
That performance you just saw, that video, was his last performance that day. After the assembly, I went into headquarters where he was sitting, and he says to me, "Tom, how did I do?" I says, "Doctor, you always do great." He says, "No, you don't understand. When I came down here this week for Boys State, I left all my notes at home. He stayed up all night putting it together from memory. And that evening, the evening dinner, his friends brought him back to the campus, and we had a doctor in the building. He comes out and says, "Tom, the ambulance will be pulling up here." I said, "Okay." The ambulance picked him up, took him to Hamilton Hospital, which is a little ways away from here. We had a couple old-timers on staff back then. They were no longer here. We said, "Let's go to the hospital," and we loaded up my car, and we went down there. Al Burrows and a couple other, you guys won't know them, but that's okay. We get down to the emergency room. We had a chance to see the doctor, Dr. Nicholas Solis. And as we left, his words were, "I love the boys. Tell them I'll see them tomorrow." We got word he died that following morning at 11 a.m. We didn't tell the citizens yet. Staff knew about it. And the program director at that time, Dave O'Brien, got up to the mic on that evening assembly. I don't know how he did it, but he looked out at everybody. We're looking out at our future here. He made the announcement that Dr. Nicholas Solis died. Now, all you guys, you only know us from this week. Same thing for Dr. Nicholas Solis. But the effect that man had on the staff and on the citizens of Boys State, without a prompting by any of our counselors, to show the caliber of all you that are sitting out there in the audience, one by one, you guys stood up, went to prayer, rest, and bowed your heads in tribute and honor to a great man. When you complete this week, you will be part of that alumni. He was in the first class of Boys State in 1938. You guys are going to be honored to be part of that. And I thank you. And it's a privilege for me to be working with you guys and all our counselors working with you to see your future come through. Thank you. At this time, call upon Joe Geiser for a sports update. Thank you.
Good morning, gentlemen. Good morning, sir. Yesterday, I was called to a previous agreement that I was cooking barbecue chickens for a fundraiser for Wanderers Rest, who's a shelter for animals. I was out in the wind and the rain. Something happened here yesterday that I'm a little embarrassed. I got 46 and a half years as a police officer, deputy sheriff. 46 and a half years that I've dealt with things. We had a basketball taken from the court, and during the basketball game, it was chaos. They tell me there was only 1 or 2 counselors down there. There was 200 boys down there. We're trying to run a sport that was out of the rain, okay? So, punishment for the person who accidentally took the ball, bring it back, and meet me indiscriminately in the back corner where our office is. Punishment will be an apology, and the guy that's down, the counselor that's down to the basketball court is a living, present-day judge of a court. And he's highly upset at how things went. So please, we're here for you. This is your week. I'm going to tell you one thing. Later on in life, you're going to look back at this week, and with the exception of your honeymoon, you're going to say that this was a great week. Honest. I tell people that, okay? Now, you want an application for sons? Page 44. Right in your book. Okay. Now, unfortunately, the fields are wet, and rain is in the progress of coming. So basketball is the only sport that we're going to play today. This is your program. We are here to help you, okay? So I'm going to ask again that the person who accidentally took the ball, please come back to the corner and return the ball and apology. Thank you and have a good week.
For the purpose of announcements, Dean Eric and Brian Bogan.
So the Nationalist Party, Federalist Party will go back to their state party conventions twice today, 1 o'clock to 3:30, and then tonight 7 o'clock until things get wrapped up to elect the rest of the state officials.
I want to commend everybody. You've taken it very seriously. You're doing your business like you're supposed to, and you should be proud of yourselves. So let's pick a government, right?
At this time, can I have all the city mayors please stand up and be recognized? All city mayors. I should see 20. After this assembly, please come up to the stage for the mayors, after the assembly, for a photograph. Should we do a music video or no? We got time? No. All right, at this time, I'm going to call on the County of Pedro to retrieve the colors. Retrieve colors. Hand salute. Go. 2. Go to your lunch in order. Thank you. Dismissed.
Flag goes on your right. It folks to the right.